Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to this video. This video is for my English 101 course, filming it in the spring of 2020 during the big coronavirus outbreak. But I might be using this video for future courses too, as I explain the exploratory essay. So, welcome, guys. Hope you've been doing okay during pandemic. Let's just get straight to the point of the video so that I don't take up too much of your time. So, paper 3 in English 101, after your narrative and after your August Tannen paper, is going to be called the exploratory essay. So, let me also mention that paper 3 and paper 4 are both going to be on the same topic. Okay, so this paper is going to actually help you build your next paper, which is the argument paper. So you want to make sure you pick a topic that interests you. And I have another video posted where I talk about different topics that you might pick from. But in a nutshell, you're going to be analyzing a complex political topic, in our current world. It doesn't even have to be political necessarily. It's something that there's at least more than two different points of disagreement about. So it could be something individual within a field. It has to be something that people have long argued, something that people have long discussed, something that people can't always agree on. You want it to be a subjective topic, right? You want to make sure it's about opinions. You don't want to ask what's the price of tea in China. That's a question you can answer as a fact. We're asking questions that are gray. You're going to be picking a topic that you like, something that you can learn more about. And this exploratory essay then is a paper where you pretty much you're going to be doing some research. There's another video for you on how to find sources. You're going to be picking a topic. You're going to do research. You're going to look up stuff both for your side and stuff against your side. You mostly want stuff against your side because you want to challenge yourself. You want to make sure that your belief stands up to the opposite belief, once you test it. This is all about testing your ideas, putting your ideas in conversation with other people. Politically, it doesn't matter if you're liberal or if you're conservative. If you want to make sure that whatever topic it is, you also look at that other side, make sure that your argument still holds up after reading theirs. Let's talk through this. This paper is going to be more of a free-flowing form. There's not really a lot of true organization to this paper. This paper is almost what you're thinking aloud about your topic. Okay? But in a nutshell, scroll down for you. Just to scroll down a little bit, in a nutshell, the paper will take this structure. And, this thing that I have for you, thesis, antithesis, synthesis, this is an idea called the dialectic. Right? It goes back to philosophy. The idea of the dialectic is this is how knowledge is made. So the general idea with this is you have what's called a thesis. That's not to be confused with a thesis statement. Okay? A thesis is pretty much what do I believe before I do any work on this topic. So let's say that you pick something like, gun control. Right? You ask yourself, should assault weapons be banned in the U.S.? My first stance might be no, There should not be bans on assault rifles. Yes. So basically, what you do then is, okay, that's my first stance. So now you're going to be looking up all kinds of other differing perspectives on your topic. So you might look on the assault weapons. You would want, if you started out kind of conservative, you would want to look up some liberal arguments, right? Maybe some more moderate arguments, like yeah, we can have assault weapons, but maybe we should have some more mental background. Check this out. Or maybe we should limit how much ammo we sell with the weapon. So with the antithesis, you're finding all this other stuff. You're kind of testing it with your original belief. What comes out of that is the synthesis. Excuse me. This is when you conflate both the antithesis and the thesis and the antithesis together. So thesis plus antithesis equals synthesis. So after reading all this stuff, what is your opinion now? So maybe your opinion remains mostly the same, right? That would be a way to do it. Maybe you're completely changed your mind. You started out conservative or you started out liberal, and you completely switched to the other side after you read stuff. Maybe your opinion's somewhere in the gray ground, right? Maybe you started out saying there should be complete freedom of using assault weapons. Then you might say, after reading something like limit ammo and we can put more mental background checks, that would be a nice compromise. Maybe you end up somewhere in the middle after reading all of your stuff. This is what happens at the end of a dialectic. Basically, this is what your paper is going to be doing. Going to sort of go thinking out loud almost in this dialectic way. Usually in this paper, the introduction, this is where you kind of state what your opinion was before you did any research. You want to make sure that you acknowledge that your opinion is subject to change. So, again, taking the gun control, I believe that there should be no restrictions on gun control. That would be how you would start. Maybe you also practice normal ways of introducing paper, right? You don't want to be boring. You want to be a nice attention grabber, all that good stuff. But from here, basically what you do is you're explaining to the reader all these different arguments that you're coming across. Maybe your first body paragraph would start with, I started out reading Jeff Yeager's article about why assault weapons should be banned. Making stuff up, right? I don't really. But basically, you would explain this argument that is being made in your research. Then you have, it's almost thinking aloud. So after reading this article, how is your opinion, how is your ideas changing? Right? Are you saying, well, yeah, they have some good points, or no, I don't think this point's valid? You kind of have to put your view in tension with that other view, right? And lock horns, and that becomes a dialectic after a while. So you want to do this for several different sources, right? So my second source gave me this other perspective. Third source maybe reinforced my perspective. You want to make sure that they build on each other. You also want to make sure that they don't repeat. Sometimes when you research, you might find some repetitive information. But make sure each section, each source that you're using, contributes something to your paper. So And the further along you go through the paper, the more complicated it gets, even. Because by the time you get to source D, you'll have all these three sources before it. How do you put source D in conversation with source B or source A? So, like I said, this is almost thinking aloud, bouncing ideas back and forth off of each other. The conclusion to this paper is the most important part. This is the synthesis of your dialectic. So after reading all this stuff, where are you now? So have your ideas changed? Are your ideas mostly the same? Somewhere in the middle. This is where you state, okay, after having researched, this is now my fully educated opinion on the topic. And what will happen, the fourth paper is more of a standard argument paper. Well, once you reach your conclusion here, that will become your thesis statement, your argument paper. So these two papers kind of build off of each other in that way. So this is mostly the sort of organizational model to follow, but beyond that, there really isn't a true organization in this paper. And let's just go source to source to source. This paper is your thinking aloud. Like, this isn't an objective paper. This is your beliefs. Use the first person pronoun I, right? This is a personal paper almost. How your ideas are growing and changing. The thing about it is, by the time I get to this conclusion, I should see how your ideas are now shaping up. You read all this contrary evidence, but you kind of put your feet in the sand and say, I don't care about any of that stuff. I still think the same. That doesn't make sense. You want to make sure they all build off each other. By the time you get here, it should almost write itself. The third paper is definitely more free-flowing. The hard part is finding your research that you do. So, explain all this. So this paper is going to be about 4 to 5 pages, double spaced. It can be longer. It actually might be longer. But the deadlines are listed. At the end of your prompt, I gave a schedule for how we're going to be doing things. So, like I said, I might use this video in the future, so I'm going to walk through that too. That is pretty much it as far as what you do. So I will also post the textbook chapter from a textbook that I have about this paper. So you can look at that. You're going to see some student examples as you read through. I have some good ones. So the key is pick a good topic, do some good credible research in the databases. Sometimes you might actually find some sources too not on the database. So long as the majority of your sources are from the databases, I'm happy. I want you to show that you've done some effort in researching. Check that other video out research. Till next time, take care and good luck.